Hi, I'm Pat McGovern, co-founder of the Open4st Aspen Group. We develop sustainable hybrid aspens that can be used for multiple purposes, and they can propagate like willows in that you can grow them from 8 to 10 inch, 12-inch stem cuttings, and then they'll reestablish themselves after clear cut from root suckers that come up. They don't require replanting, so they're pretty cool things. So today I want to show you, demonstrate how we plant in the field these hybrid aspens. First of all, some of the marketable uses for this type of wood, of course, is pulp, timber, and even figured wood. Here's a sample of the figured wood I'd like to show you. You see in the sun, it has a little shimmer quality, and the reason it does with this finished part is because of the wavy grain that's inside the wood is translucent, and when you finish it, you can see the wavy pattern. So that can be of quite value. It could be used to help us not use rare imported figured wood, and it could be quite sustainable as well. So some of the materials that we use for planting, of course, we want to start with our aspen tree. This one here started from an 8-inch cutting, and the year before, and we put it in the garden. We plant them on 4 inches apart on 3-foot centers and double rows, and you can see the roots that grew from the cutting, and then the stem. This stem was probably 6.5 feet tall or so, and we cut it back, and we call this a deer-proof stem. It's deer-proof because at about 4 feet, it's thick enough. It's a 10 millimeters as a minimum, and where a deer would have a very hard time to put their mouth in here and snap and break that tree. So that's why we call it deer-proof. And so what we're going to do is dig a hole that's about 12 to 14 inches deep, and put that in, and we're going to use a gas auger that will mix up that dirt, make it real aerable, and it's much better than using a divot when you go that deep, because that leaves air pockets. We can get all the air out of this one. So the other thing about being deer-proof is to use a sheath, what we call woven textile fabric. It's really tough, and it resists deer rubbing. We'll show that later. And then at the bottom, we use a covering, go over the soil itself to keep weeds from coming up, and so that you can put weed control if you need to around that without damaging the stem. So let's get going, and we're going to dig the hole and plant the tree. I'm going to plant this tree right next to a stump. There's a willow stump right here, and a smaller one, not willow, but a smaller stump right there. And I'm going to demonstrate that you can plant in areas that are in a forested area if you wanted, or in an open field. It doesn't matter. I tried to plant that deeper than I needed to, and it's probably 18 inches deep or so, and then we'll plant the tree here. And so obviously a considerable factor is how deep that it should be. I figure about nose height, about 5.5 feet, for so the deer don't eat the tips. So I'll put a little bit more dirt in there. That's good enough. Okay, then I pack in more dirt yet. So I use a rake. I can use it if you're planting in heavy sod. Use the rake to take the sod out in just one scoop, and then you also use the rake to backfill the soil. Like that. And then once you get it initially put in, use the back to tamp out the air. You don't have to kill or break the roots, but just get it good so it's nice and solid, like that. And then keep going with your feet or whatever, either rake, whatever you need to do. You can see that auger went right through any roots that were there. It's an incredible tool. I bought it for about, I don't know, 250 bucks. Gas auger, 2-stroke. There the trees planted. So now I'm going to put the initial covering. This is that woven textile. I have like it's a 6-inch square, and I have say 4 inches about slit with another inch slit here. Put that over. Right. So the thought is that over time it'll break right through, and it won't need it. And put the other stapled. This is a 3 feet long. You buy it in strips. It's about 30 cents, 35 cents for a 10-inch piece. So it's 10 inches, folded over, stapled on one side, and then stapled three staples on the top and on the bottom, leaving enough room for sprouts to come up through there and to get it on. Pretty simple. Take off the label. Remove anything else. Take off the label. Planting the label right here. I use pencil on these 1/2-inch or 3/4 inch labels, and it'll last for 2 years, maybe 3. Put this back on. It's on real good. And then we'll be able to spray Roundup if we have to around here. And then we use I use stainless steel staples. The company called Selco makes them. They're stainless steel. They're made in Austria. They're just office staples, but they're stainless steel, so it's not toxic to the stem. Toxicity is a very bad thing because it can kill it can cause damage. So we don't need to do that if we use stainless steel. What I do then is I start right at the bottom, and I just put in 4. Put one right at the bottom. 2, and 3, and 4. And that should help secure that. And then as it grows, it should suck in the fabric right into the tree. So if a deer comes along, you know how much they rub it. Going right over the staple and everything, and there's no damage. It's excellent material. The idea is that after a few years, I think we only need 2 years. You have already 1 year here. It grows 2 years. I think that's enough protection. If this blows away or you take it off, you're good. So that's it. Happy planting.